You guys, welcome to Tarot Spills the Tea. And let me say this straight up right in the beginning. I've been out and about the last couple of days, and so my allergies, they tend to really act up. Um, I have taken something to kind of suppress the symptoms. However, I've still been coughing. My voice still kind of goes a little bit in and out. So please bear with me. All right. So, in this episode, this video of Tarot Spills the Tea, let the mouse go. Okay? Let the mouse go. But first, is Sutton genuine when it comes to crystal? So, overall, I want to know, is Sutton a genuine person as it relates to her friendships, her place on the show? Why is she on the show? Not why as in who brought her on, because we were introduced to her by way of Renna, which automatically, like, I don't trust anybody who comes in through Renna. Renna is a snake, allegedly. Um, and anyone who has been watching this show and knows Sutton, you're going to get that term, let the mouse go. And it was funny because when she was asked about that, and I forget by who, I think it might have been Andy. Um, that interviewer asked, where did that come from? And she said, I don't know. I just kind of, I heard it when I was growing up, or I made it up. It's just like, when you have a mouse in the trap, you already have the mouse, so let the mouse go. She said cats, when they have the mouse, they kind of bat it around a little bit and play with it, and they just need to let the mouse go. All right, that was my impression of her. But anyway, if you're watching this, then chances are you may know exactly what I'm talking about. So here's the thing. Um, she told Crystal that she was acting out because she was moving and had anxiety from moving. Moving, girl. From moving. Sud. Sud. From moving. Okay. I've moved a couple of times in my life, and I I didn't pull out a lint brush and paint it pink and roll my face. But I know everybody's different. Everybody's different, and I'm not making fun of anyone because, I believe we all have a certain level of dysfunction. We're all on a um, mental illness, mental disorder. What do you call that? Spectrum. Every single one of us. Every single one of us. So we're all on the spectrum of some kind of mental disorder, mental dysfunction, some kind of a dysfunction. You want to know why? Because no one's perfect, and that's just the way that we are designed. In order to meet your full spiritual potential, you have to have a challenge. So nobody's perfect. Anyway, moving right along, let me bring your attention right down to the bottom of your screen, no matter what screen you are watching, whether it is the iPhone, an Android, a PC, laptop, iPad, notebook, whatever you got. Look at the bottom of that screen and look at that red bar on the bottom. That red bar says for entertainment purposes only, and every single word is alleged and not to be used as facts. Anytime you see that red bar at the bottom, those words apply. Let's get started. All right. So, in the name of moving out, because I know that, it's not easy, and it's not, sometimes you move out on a good note and sometimes you move out on a not so good note. I've experienced both. And either way, it's stressful. Even when it is a good note, it's still a little stressful, okay? I used to box up my stuff months ahead of time when I knew I was moving on up like the Jeffersons, baby. You can, if even if I was moving in November, you could catch me in June packing up. Everything in boxes and stuff. People come visit. Why your stuff in boxes? Because I'm moving. I'm moving. I'm moving on up like the Jeffersons. But either way, whatever position it is, moving in itself is stressful. Period. Even if you pay people to do it, I've been in positions before where I paid somebody to do it. People, and it's still stressful because your things mean a lot to you and you don't know if something's going to get broke. It's just there's levels of stress when you're moving no matter what the situation is. So I'm not making light of that. However, you can't, like Crystal said, you can't really use that and just, act, what she say, ridiculous. Actually, Crystal called her a ridiculous human being. I don't know. It's just something about there's like a difference between being called ridiculous and then saying a ridiculous human being. That just got like a little punch to it. I'm like, dang, Crystal, you could have just said she's ridiculous. You could have just said she's acting ridiculous. But to say she is a ridiculous human being, to me, that's kind of a jab. Like when a person, excuse me, says that you're a waste of skin or a waste of you're a waste, any kind of waste, anything that happens before or after you are a waste. That's like hidden below the belt. So I don't know, just adding on there, you are a ridiculous human being. Okay then, she didn't have to add human being, even though I know she's a human being. But mm so I am Indigo Sage, an awakened soul. I do have a spiritually based website at unapologeticallysage.com. You can also find unapologeticallysage.com on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. So let's go ahead and sage this out. Let me tell you real quick though. My videos I see now, they are averaging an hour long. And I'm kind of working with that because there's information that I want you guys to know. Point blank period. If I made this video 10 minutes, I'd be leaving out a lot. But not to say there isn't a time where I might not make a 10-minute video, but for me, when we are approaching a subject such as this and we're going kind of behind the scenes and diving deep into someone's psyche with my tarot cards, it needs more than 10 minutes, okay, in order for you guys to get the entire picture. So that would be not worth my time to just do a 10-minute video, because we all can assess her in 10 minutes without cards and without, the spiritual element of it, giving me channeling it. So this is why my videos are long, because I'm giving you the complete picture. So yeah, so on this channel, period, all my videos are sort of lengthy. All right, now let's sage this out. All right. Now, after I've given you that long speech, wouldn't it be funny if this video was only like 30 minutes? Um, so, the past. So, the way this is set up, it is 5 positions, and we dive in deep into Sutton's energy as it pertains to Crystal, and we'll get a picture overall for her state of mind and energy that she embodies when it comes to friendships, period. Okay? I just chose the Crystal, quote unquote, friendship. Okay, so in the past position, the card that came up was the Hanged Man. All right. Sutton chose silence in her past. She regrets doing so, which made her overreact in her current situation. So something happened. Something happened in her past where she chose silence for the sake of keeping the peace. And she regrets it. Point blank, period. She feels like by being silent, she allowed that to happen, but she was like represented, and I'm doing air quotes, and of course, allegedly, you see that bar at the bottom. She was represented in a way that she didn't like. It wasn't pleasing to her, but she sat quiet just to keep the peace. And it's funny because when this card came up, I could totally see that energy when she cut Crystal off with when Crystal was saying how, as a person of color, or any other race besides Caucasian, how our experience is different, And Sutton ran right in and cut her off and was like, no, 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 we're not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. Okay. I didn't know what the hell that was. See, when I laugh, I make myself cough, so I'm going to try not to laugh, y'all. But I didn't know what the hell that was. And I am wondering if my listeners right now, if my sages, if you guys felt the same way. What was that? She said, no, no, we're not going to do this. We're not going to do this. And, Crystal was like, do what? Do what? Okay, she bucked back. What? WTF? What the hell you talking about? Um, that energy came from, it's residual leftover energy. It came from a situation where Sutton felt like she was misrepresented and she allowed it to happen. Okay, that's that energy. That's that energy. And she's going forward and taking that, I should have corrected it, I regret it. She's taking that past with her, forward in her current situation, which is not right, because you don't sit up here and treat someone currently as if they are the ones that did something bad to you in your past. That's not smart. Okay. I don't like to call people dumb. I don't know if that woman is smart or dumb. I don't know what degrees she hold or lack thereof. I have no idea. But I know that action, that energy is not smart to be. And the thing about it is, when you have an experience, because we all have experiences, and guess what? We're given those experiences to learn from them. They are lessons. What I always say, and this is my own quote, so if I hear somebody saying it, I know you got it from me, Indigo Sage, okay? But what I always say is, and I got it all over my website, so don't try me. What I always say is, you leave the experience and you keep the lesson. And it might sound simple, but when you actually are called upon by your higher power, the divine, for me, it's God. When you are called upon to put those simple words into action, it's not always as easy as you think or believe that it is. And we can see that in Sutton, okay? Because Crystal didn't do anything to her in that kitchen that night with her and Kyle. And, they're sitting up there chit-chatting about the race being brought up between Kyle and Garcelle. And Crystal saying she can relate to Garcelle. And Sutton cutting her off, talking about, no, we're not going to do this. Girl, what are you? Calm down. Calm yourself. Calm yourself. Calm yourself. Calm yourself. All right. And I was getting ready to say something, it may be something in her purse she needs to pop in her mouth and drink it with water that can calm her down. I don't know. But calm yourself, okay? Allegedly. Moving right along to present. Okay, we are at the present, and the present card is Three of Chalices. All right. So this card, I like Three of Chalices 90% of the time. Because in other readings, it's viewed as the Three of Cups, and that means third party stuff and anyway, whatnot. But 90% of the time, it just simply means celebration. Okay? Celebrate good times. Come on. All right. I shouldn't even try to sing. I actually have a beautiful voice when these allergies are not attacking it. In the present, we have, and I'm so glad it was upright. So it means celebration. Now, here's the thing though, as it relates to her and Crystal and how Sutton handles friendships, what is there to celebrate, you may wonder. Here it is. Let me go ahead and drop what the tarot spilled so far as the tea on this. Unexpected joy brings comfort. Sutton know that night She acted a plumb fool. I'll say it again. Sutton knows that night she acted a plumb fool. Okay? Not fool, but fool. She knows she did. And her anxiety, we all see she got anxiety now. She pulled out that lint roller. We all know she has anxiety. So, and that's nothing to be played with. I've had it a few times, didn't even know I didn't have it when I was younger, and was put in a situation, and I didn't know what the hell was going on with me. So it's very serious. So I'm not making light of it. But she's the first person I've seen pull out a lint roller and put it on her face and rolled it like a pancake. I don't know. And let me knock on wood. I hope I never have to pull out a lint roller and roll it on my face like a pancake to calm down. I just be needing people to leave me alone. But anyway, excuse me. So the celebration is not outward but inward so far as Sutton's energy as it pertains to that situation because anxiety began to grow. Mind you, she already was pulling in some mess from the past, which we already know that, she said, oh, it's because she's moving, but either way, she's pulling in past residual energy where she didn't feel like she spoke up enough. And then her anxiety started acting up. And then, times it by 10 to the 10th power with the cameras there and knowing that this is going to be worldwide. So all of that is compounding. So the unexpected joy that brought her comfort was the one-on-one with the women in the group when she felt like that was genuine concern. That's the only thing that helped her relax. Even though her and Rena was talking in her room, and first of all, is she the only one staying downstairs with the bears? Is she the only one staying downstairs with the bears? Is she the only one staying downstairs with the bears? I would like to know that. That's not clear to me. I know in the very beginning of their trip, that man was giving them a tour and said downstairs, the bears have access. And I'm like, access? Like they done paid some kind of club fee and they got a card that they swipe and come on in and get in your bed next to you or something. What you mean the bears have access? Okay, that was crazy to me. The bears have access downstairs. Okay, and I was telling my homegirl, so what prevents them from coming upstairs? Do they know that their card only work? They only, got the downstairs access and they didn't pay for the upstairs. I don't know. That was weird. But I have not been out into the forest and woods like that. I do a little bit of hiking, but not like that. Not like that. And yes, I'm kind of with Garcelle when she grabbed her purse and said that's all I needed to know, and she was gone. She was out. Like, yeah, that's me. I'm not going anywhere where bears have access to just like eat me up. Like, no, thank you, and I'll pass. How about that? But I noticed that Rena said, I'm going to go downstairs and visit Sutton. And it just seemed so hollow and like, and I know all the women were upstairs, I believe, but it just, I don't know, it just felt like she was the only one downstairs. And hopefully she's not, because Spirit is like telling me, I think, is Kyle downstairs too? Um, Kyle and maybe Kathy too. Kathy don't seem like she afraid of nothing. She don't sound like she's afraid of nothing. And I like that. So far, I'm okay with Kathy. I'm just, I don't know. I'm watching her. But anyway, and not watching her in a bad way. She's new. I watch everybody who's new. So, I watched Garcelle last season. I watched Sutton last season. Anybody who's new, I'm just watching their interactions with the ladies. Back to Sutton. So at that particular time, she seemed to be the only one downstairs. And it was a little funny, but unfortunate that it was funny when, her and Rena was talking. Kyle came in to offer more comfort, which I thought that was great because that other night she grabbed her arm and said something about you better act like a grown woman, then act like it. Because, Sutton was like, I'm okay or I'm fine or something she said, and Kyle told her then act like it, which it was in the context of you need to act like a grown or a mature woman right now. Like you're acting like basically she was telling her, you acting like a baby. You acting like a baby, like like you having a temper tantrum or whatever. And she was. And that's the night where she felt like she was kicked and left out. And, they played them little premieres and commercials about her being kicked and she was crying. And I'm like, ooh, who kicking? And then they showed Crystal, the Asian descent woman, who supposedly kicked her. And I'm like, did she karate kick you, girl? And, forgive me, I'm not trying to sound whatever, but I'm just telling you the first thing that popped in my mind. Like, what kind of kick did she do? And if she did it, what did you do to spark a kick? Whether it be karate kick or any kind of kick, a hood kick, karate kick, a white kick, kung fu kick, tofu kick. I don't know, but a kick. I'm like, why did she kick you, girl? That had to be something. If it wasn't an accident, because she's sitting up there crying like she was really hurt. So I'm like, so if you kicked her hard enough to make this lady cry, um, was it an accident? And she's overreacting? Or what did she do? See, when I look at things, I'm always, you know, going in unbiased. But anyway, so we found out it was not a karate kick. It was not any kind of major kick. Sutton was overreacting. And as Sutton realizes these things, the other night, her doing all that, uh, stop it, we're not going to talk about this. And the hysterical tears, hysterically crying because of a small, probably like a little nudge tap, a little love tap or something that Crystal did just to let her know to be quiet because Kathy didn't know yet about the practical joke being reversed and played on her. We can all agree that wasn't no serious kick to be crying. So as Sutton takes all of this in, she now is isolating herself. Some people do that, especially when they have anxiety. As you notice, I just said when I had anxiety, the couple of times I've had it, I wanted to be left alone. I wanted everybody to get away from me. I wanted to be alone. Um, and so she's isolating herself. But when they came they being some of the other women, that night and the following nights and the following days, because it carried on, unfortunately, which is why I wanted to dive into it. Now, I don't know if all of you wanted to get to know Sutton's energy a little bit better, but I did. I wanted to know her a little bit better from the start of her always gifting and saying, that's just me. And Erica was like, is she buying friends? What is she doing? And then she was like, well, I like these boots, so she can go ahead and buy me. I was like, okay, so you can be bought. All right, moving along. Um, excuse me, that cough is telling me to wrap this up. So the unexpected joy bringing comfort to her was that she knew that she was wrong. She felt like she was imploding. She had her anxiety going. She was isolating herself, and the ladies seeking her out to comfort her made her feel good. Point blank, period. All right? When this stuff first was happening, it made her feel good. And I even think she was all right on the boat as well because she likes attention, but she likes to be in control of the attention that she's receiving. So Erica asking her across the boat, and remember you guys, this is not just tarot, this is also a review and recap. Okay, so get into it. But with Erica calling across to her saying, are you all right? Are you okay? When she's over there kind of trying to be okay. You know what? I was getting ready to say stewing. She's stewing. She's stewing. She's stewing, which is not healthy, but you know, um, and honestly, I feel like Erica should have left her alone, unless she saw her pull out that the pink lint brush roller and slap her face like pancakes or dough or whatever. Then maybe you say, "Hey, girl, you okay?" But I still would not have just kind of shouted it across the boat. If I was really concerned, and this is just the type of person I am, I'll sit next to a person and just kind of whisper, "Are they okay?" Because I want them to feel comfortable and not feel like they are being put on the spot, placed on the spot. That was not, to me, that wasn't cool. All right. But anyway, when she saw that they all didn't ostracize her, that was the unexpected joy that brought her comfort. Now, let's see what she feels would be the best outcome in this situation. So, the best to come out of this situation, as Sutton sees it, that would be for Sutton to take Crystal on a shopping spree for emotional stability. See, you guys, now I was told, allegedly, there are 5 different types of love languages. And it's a book or something like that, and I've been meaning to read it, and I haven't yet, so I can't tell you anything more than there is supposedly, allegedly, 5 different types of love language, all right? Which means 5 different ways that people um, communicate and receive and what they perceive to be shown love or showing love to someone else. Sutton's love language is materialistic things, okay? And and like I said, I didn't even read the book, and maybe I will soon since I'm talking about it, but I view that as possibly the saddest one, okay? I don't know what they all are, but and if I did, trust me, this reading would be much longer because I'd be talking about them. But I know that materialistic things, purchases, and all that kind of stuff is one of them. I do know that. Um, but I think that's really sad. But who am I? Like, I was going to say, like Andrew Cartwell says, who am me to judge? Who are me to judge with his crazy self? And that ain't alleged. But bless his heart. So we all know that already. You know, if you've been watching the show, you know that. But what's sad to me, the reason why I'm saying it's sad is because she wants to buy her something and she feels like that will be the emotional stability in the friendship that's needed. No, it is not. No, it's not. Crystal don't get down like that. I mean, just looking at her face. Let me tell you something. If we had if we watched that last show on mute when she went in her room and Crystal was crying, talking about, you came in here and I was naked, girl. If it was on mute, you could clearly just read. You could read the room, you could read the face, you could read the writing on the wall, you could read everything. You could read the cards, you could just read. You could read closed captioning. You can see Crystal is not down with that type of shit. She's not down with that. She's just not. They clearly don't see eye to eye. They are clearly 2 different people, and I think they ended it with, maybe we just don't need to be in Lake Tahoe. Lake Tahoe is not for us. No, you guys are not for us. You guys are not for each other. You guys are not for each other. Okay? You guys are not for each other. Agree to disagree and take your separate walks on the plank. You understand me? Because Crystal is new to the group, and even though Sutton was on last season, this not mess, Lord forgive me, this anxiety, this personality that's coming out now, this is a part of her personality that we have not seen, that has not been exposed yet, even to the group, because the way Carl grabbed her arm and told her to act like it and grow up, honey, Kyle hadn't seen that before either. So let me tell you something. We're getting to know Sutton as well. So they both, which is the reason why I said they both need to just walk the planks, separate directions, opposite directions. Just walk the plank. Walking the plank, I use that term to mean we don't know if y'all gonna last or not. You know, these women might throw you in the water or might throw in a what you call that little thing for you, little circle thing, life raft, the little circle thing, whatever, the little donut where you grab onto and they pull you in. They might do that. They might let you walk yourself off that plank and not say nothing to you. Just say, okay, good riddance. Or they might say, hey, turn around, we like you. We don't know what they're gonna do, but they both have their own separate path, and they need to agree to disagree. I think Crystal's okay with that. But here's the thing, Sutton is not okay with Crystal not being okay. Okay? What is that about exactly? What's that about? What is that about? So, no matter what Sutton is saying, um, overall, she does want to be perceived as and seen as and represented as the being the bigger person, um, the kinder person, the gentler person, the softer person, the person who's able to sincerely apologize when they've done something wrong and then move forward. But here's the thing, like Crystal doesn't feel like it's sincere, and she's not gonna fake. Crystal ain't no fake get along to be along or whatever. It's some kind of term that say get along, be along, get along to be along, fake it till you make it type of thing. And I don't know Crystal. I am talking in alleged terms and pertaining specifically to Sutton. She is not here for Sutton. She's not here for the fakeness. She already said moving ain't gonna make you act like this. She already called Sutton a ridiculous human being, which was a mouthful. You ain't just ridiculous. You are an entire whole ridiculous human being. That's like every fiber, every cell in your body, all the DNA within you is ridiculous. I'm like, damn, girl, that is a lot of ridiculousness now, girl. Okay, can't you just say right now this is ridiculous? What you're doing is ridiculous. What you're saying is ridiculous. But damn, you are a whole entire ridiculous human being. Your inner core of you is ridiculous. That I was like, damn. I can't wait for her to read somebody because I don't even feel like that was a read on her end. Okay, Crystal seems like if she wanted to, she could just read down. But I don't even know if I like Crystal yet. Back to Sutton take on Crystal. They're two different people. But the best outcome that, as the way that Sutton sees it, is let me buy you something. Because remember, she said when she was leaving, first of all, she did a bunch of kissing up. I'm sorry. I didn't want you to take it that way. I didn't mean it that way. I was just saying this. I was saying that. I meant it like this. And to be honest, that didn't seem sincere. She was walking in there like, let's be cool right now. Let's just end this. Somebody probably whispered in her ear. One of them ladies said, and I'm thinking it's Kyle, whether it was on camera or not. She told her, let this end here and now. End it here and now. Don't take this with you. Let, you be the bigger person and go end it here and now. So, and Kyle is working like the peacemaker. We'll see how, that's a good look. That's all I'm going to say. That's a good look. That's a good look this season. Because last season she was everything but. Season before she was a bit of a monster. So this season she's the peacemaker. Now I wonder, is that because Kathy is there and Kathy's big sister and called her, what she called her, Poochie or Doogie, little Doogie. She don't want Kathy to put little Doogie in her place on TV. You know what I'm saying? Because she thinks she's queen ever since LVP left, and it seemed like Kathy would put Doogie right in her damn place because I had heard that Kathy is really good friends with LVP. So she already know you're not gonna be that role this season. So who you want to be this season? So she's the peacemaker this season. All right, good look. Moving right along. So somebody whispered in her ear, Sutton's ear, to go in there and make nice. So she goes in there. She kisses the little butt. It seems fake, not only to us as the audience, but also to Crystal. Crystal, tells her how she felt. She does a lot of apologizing. But when I say a lot, it really wasn't a lot. And it didn't seem genuine. And I'm saying Sutton to Crystal. It didn't seem like a genuine apology. But we know that she already had told them, I don't, what do I need to apologize for? I ain't done nothing wrong. Okay. So even when she went in to talk to Crystal and Crystal says what she felt like she did wrong, you can still see that she felt like she didn't do nothing wrong. Okay. So Sutton needs to work on that. But then she was kissing up to her, saying, "Do you need me to help? Do you need me to help with packing? Because we got to do it ourselves, and that's really horrible." And she's like, "No, no, no, I got it." And she's like, "Okay, well, let's hug. We got to hug." And Crystal was like, "You hugging now?" She was like, "Yes." Lake Tahoe brought it out of me. I have to hug. And I don't know if you guys looked at that body language. Crystal was so stiff and did a two pat back, did a two pat back, two pats on your back. Um, which is hilarious to me. Everybody knows. Excuse me. People who know me, it's so funny. They always say that my face be giving things away. I don't know because I don't see it when I'm doing it. But they also talk about um, hugs. But that was like kind of that was, first of all, that was pre C19 or whatever. But even besides that, I don't, been a couple of years, I don't give you a hug if I'm not feeling you. But before, when I still was kind of trying to be nice, I do a two pat back. And everybody knows that two pat back is like, you really need to get back. Like, I'm not feeling you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows the difference between hugs, the energy of a hug, and Crystal gave her that two pat back. Okay. Um. So the best of the situation as Sutton sees it is for her to be able to buy Crystal something. Because even as she was leaving, she said, "Don't be surprised if you get a gift in the mail or some flowers. I am so serious. I'm gonna do it." I know I went into a whole different accent. I don't know who that was. I forgot Sutton's accent. But so just bear with me. But that's what she said, and that's what she thinks the best looks like. That she's gonna give her a gift, and it's gonna be the stability that she's looking for in that friendship emotionally, and they're gonna be okay, and they're gonna like link arms and skip down the yellow brick road together. That's Sutton's energy, you guys, and that's ridiculous. I'm not gonna say her whole human being body is ridiculous, but that energy as being the best, let me buy you something and then we're gonna be emotionally set right. It's crazy to me. However, oh, and that list she pulled out, she said crazy. What? Oh my God. Um, which is why that refers back to the present card being an unexpected joy, because after she let her defenses down, I think she saw some sincerity in the women's concern for her well-being, her mental well-being and her health and emotional stability. Because she was armed up, very defensive. She had a notepad where she said, "All the things, this is a list of all the names I've been called on this trip." So I've never seen that before. That was unexpected to me. Um, so yeah, moving right along. All right, so the worst of the situation between Sutton and Crystal, as Sutton sees it, is not having a clear understanding with Crystal. Now, it's represented by the world card in reverse. What that is saying is that Sutton feeling like it's good and they're good. Sutton going ahead and showing her love language, buying her whatever, whatever it is that she feels like she needs to buy her. Which is that's such a weird love language, because we even see when they first get to the trip and Sutton gives out all those dang gifts that both Kathy and Crystal said, I don't use a flask. What is this? What am I going to do with it? I don't even know what to do with this. It's so buying gifts for people and not even knowing them and what they like is a weird love language to me. One that is unfortunate, because what if one of them was truly a struggling alcoholic and you fucking you Mm-mm. Excuse me. You give them an effing flask? That's not cool, man. That's so uncool. Like Luann de Lesseps would say, that's so uncool. Don't be uncool. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like she could have got them sunglasses from the Bailey agency or whatever. You know, sunglasses is much safer. I'm sure you can find $1,000 sunglasses, girl. I mean, a flask. You don't know. That was awful to me. That was just not wise. First of all, it's irritating that I feel like she's trying to buy them. But besides that, you're not even actually being considerate. You're blindly buying things. And so, how can that be received as an expression of love when you don't know them well enough and you didn't even consider getting them something neutral? So, no, that was received as you being a completely ridiculous human being. Okay. So, the worst in Sutton's mind is feeling like she's cool. Her and Crystal are cool. She didn't bought her this, bought her that, whatever. And Crystal, maybe perhaps giving a nod because on that boat she was giving nothing. Well, she gave a smirk, and I rewound it. I rewound it because Sutton said, "Why are you laughing at me? Don't laugh at me." And I'm like, "Did this lady laugh?" She didn't laugh. She smirked. Okay. It was a little more than a smirk. It was a smirk. But it wasn't a laugh, son. Stop being dramatic. Just roll your face with that pink lint roller. But yeah, that's the worst. Her thinking it's okay, and Crystal giving her the impression, or her perceiving from Crystal that it's okay. And Sutton can't. I don't think she can read the room. I don't think she can read people. Excuse me, because she seems very insecure. So even if, I mean, we could read as the audience watching, we could see Crystal's face and know that it wasn't okay. It wasn't cool. She wasn't cool. She was not cool with Sutton. I don't think at any point throughout Lake Tahoe vacation. Um, and and it just seemed to have gotten worse for Crystal. And Sutton seems very much detached and unaware. And and inconsiderate so far as sometimes it's not you personally, sometimes it's that person, or sometimes like you shouldn't have, because it's not like Crystal was saying, I didn't want you to see me naked. She didn't want anyone to see her naked. I think we all can safely agree with that. So it wasn't personal against Sutton. And then, Sutton could have, it didn't, to be honest, it didn't matter what Sutton said. Crystal was already disturbed about being seen naked by a stranger. All right. And I think most of us would feel weird, awkward a little bit by a stranger, especially one that you ain't even seeing it for, seeing you naked just coming in your damn room. You know? That is weird. All right. So we're not gonna pretend like that's not weird. Even if someone is okay with it, okay, cool. You good. You okay with it. That's fine. However, we're not going to pretend like that's not weird or unusual. Now, creepy was a strong word, just like she said, but I'm not surprised. It's coming from Crystal, who called her an entire, whole, ridiculous being right down to your DNA cells. So, her saying creepy, Sutton, you better be glad that's all she said, okay? You better be glad that's all she said, okay? Um, but Sutton can't read the room. And so that's her worst fear, is that her misunderstanding the energy of Crystal, and let's face it, she will, because I believe that they've already come out. One of them came out and said that everything is great between them. Honey, please, I doubt it. The cards say different. They ain't great, and they never will be great. They just don't, Crystal doesn't see it for her. But, you know, honey, right now, they're both new. And well, let me say this. If Crystal comes back another season, if this was Crystal's second or third season, I'm sure she would have said something along the lines of, and I still believe she is a ridiculous whole entire being right down to the chromosomes in her toes. But she's new, and I've noticed that new people tend to kind of be reserved a little bit. So Crystal acting like or saying that they are great and there's nothing, no bad blood with them. I don't believe it. Just Crystal's not seeing it for her, and she just right now she's just not gonna say that. She's gonna do like a fake it till you make it as much as she can fake it, like she was on that boat just sitting there with a plain face. So let's move on. Oh, actually, I wanted to say what I gather from Sutton is actually I'll save it. Okay, right here. Oh, did you hear the beat drop as soon as I said okay? Right here, you guys, is you can consider it a small little commercial advertisement, whatever. But just a reminder, you can catch more of my blog. You can catch my blog at unapologeticallysage.com. It's a spiritually based blog. I talk about love. I talk about narcissism. I talk about my spiritual awakening journey. I talk about the dark night of the soul. I talk about all of that. I even have a funny meme tab. All right, but one of those tabs is the Unsay merch store tab. There you can find 5 different magnets. They measure 5 by 4 and they are only $4. When you actually receive them, they are so beautiful. These are quotes by me, sayings by me, or either Bible verses, and they are placed on top of photographs from my photographic journal. Okay? These are pictures that I took as I hike, and I told you guys I be hiking and stuff, and going on trails, but not where the bears are welcome or whatever that man said. The bears have access here. No, no. If the bears have access, then I don't. Okay. But anyway, so this is a mountain. My friend called it a hill, but it's a mountain. It was a mountain to me. Um, and we watched the sunrise, and it was so gorgeous, beautiful. But like I said, when you actually receive it, it's much more crystal clear. Like these pixels don't do it justice. And there's 5 different ones, and they are only $4. That includes shipping and handling. And again, they are 5 by 4, so they are not teeny and tiny, and they will brighten up any space you're in. All right, let's continue. Oh, let me say, this one says, rejection is God's protection and sometimes redirection. Get into it. It don't say get into it, but Sutton need to get into it. Rejection is God's protection and sometimes redirection. Redirect yourself, Sutton. Redirect yourself. That's the reason why I chose this one. Like I said, right now I have 5 different ones, and this one I want to send a shout out to her to understand that Crystal's rejection is God's protection and sometimes redirection. In this case, it's redirection, Sutton. Redirect your energy somewhere else. Don't pour all your energy into trying to make Crystal like you. It actually reminds me of a episode of The Golden Girls, where Rose was obsessed with having somebody at her job, some man at her job like her, and he just didn't. And I didn't really know that people could be like that. And in this instance, she's reminded me of Rose, or Rose was reminding me of her in that desperate energy. So here's another interesting card. This is the Stars Reversed. And by the way, all of the information for the deck that I've used will be in the description box below. And just another reminder, look at that red bottom below. Every time you see this red bar at the bottom below. It is for entertainment purposes only, and every single word is alleged and not to be used as facts. What's to come of this decision? So this one was unique because the star card, even though it showed up reversed, it can so this is one of the easiest ones. Um, and just as like with the sun, maybe everything in the galaxy, um, the sun, the moon, the stars. Okay, um, the star card is reversed easily. It can be easily turned up right, which is why what's to come I put renewed faith or feeling unworthy. So right now her energy is leaning more towards the feeling unworthy as it pertains to that friendship or that connection. The reason why it's leaning more that way is because she wants to buy her way out. Okay? And I think somewhere inside of her, she knows darn well Crystal ain't feeling that. She's not feeling it. And so that's why the energy is leaning more towards reversing all of these and feeling unworthy. All right? What Crystal wants, let me tell you something. Okay, so this is what I was getting ready to say, and then I said, oh, I'm gonna say it later. Sutton buys friends when there's an issue, the way she deals with it, and like I said already, her love language, she will buy the friend, materialistic things, or she will avoid them and run away. One or the other. With her being filmed and a part of this show, and it's a cast, she kind of doesn't have an option to run away. I believe if this was in her real life and no cameras or whatever, and that's, because we know that's a friend of a friend of a friend, she wouldn't have nothing else to do with Miss Minkoff. She wouldn't have it. If it was by choice, no cameras, nobody around and everything, this was real life, you guys, she wouldn't have nothing else to do with Miss Minkoff. She would say, Miss Minkoff can F off. Okay. Allegedly, yes. That's her energy. Point blank, period. And that's what she was sticking to as she was saying to them, I don't have nothing to apologize for. What do I got to apologize for? I don't have nothing to apologize for. That's that energy. That's her. She would do that running away thing. And the reason why I'm using the word run away is because sometimes you do kind of, if you truly feel like you were wrong, and she was wrong with cutting her off saying, we're not going to do this. You're not going to do this. That was wrong. She cut her off while she was talking, raised her voice, and said it had a like a fussing tone when Crystal was just calmly speaking with a regular kind of a low tone because everybody was asleep, just saying how she felt. A person they are allowed to say how they feel about things without someone shouting at them to be quiet and stop it. And if you don't like it, you take your ass to sleep. That's what you do. You remove yourself. But you don't police anyone's conversation. If you don't like what I'm saying and I'm just talking about my experience or how I feel, like I said in a previous video, everyone's opinions are like the holes in people's buttocks. Everyone has one. Every single one of us. Every single one of us has a hole in our buttocks. And that's what opinions are like. So you can't stop that. You can't change that. You can't shout and holler and tell somebody not to have that. We have it by design. Okay? So Sutton should have removed herself. So yeah, she did owe her an apology for that. So that needed to be like mended and summed up. But after that, yeah, if she wants to not talk to her anymore, okay. If that's, because like I said earlier, they're not feeling each other. However, I believe someone convinced her and told her, look, check this out. You don't know how long you're going to have to be around her. She might be here for another 15 years. And if you want to be here for another 15 years, you're going to have to mend it all the way. And I think that's what made her not do the running away part and do that. I am going to be super friendly and on camera. Like she probably told the camera guys, come on, you guys, I'm going in the room. Now I don't even know what accent that was. Okay, this is three different accents I'm representing Sutton by. All right, don't laugh at me. Anyway, but she probably, I was about to do it again. It probably been a fourth accent, but she wants us on camera. Let me do good. Let me make good. Let me make nice. Come watch me make nice. Record me make nice. I'm gonna make nice. And it was a little bit of denial in there that no, I didn't mean it that way. I didn't say that. Oh no. Oh, now I'm creepy. Well, I don't think it's creepy. And let me help you pack. And well, I'm gonna send you flowers. I'm gonna buy you something. Give me a hug. Jesus, girl, get out that lady's room. Get out that lady's room. Get out that lady's room. Get out of that lady's room. Get out of that lady's room. So her reaction was going to be that running, but then somehow, somewhere, she was convinced otherwise. So then she did the let me go buy you thing. Um, so what's to come is she's feeling unworthy. If she feels rejected by a crystal, she's going to feel unworthy and she's going to obsess. She's going to become obsessive about those feelings and emotions that surround that. If crystal is the bigger purse, well, I'm not even going to say bigger person because if you ain't feeling somebody, you just ain't feeling them. And you don't have to. You don't have to. Like, even though I'm a spiritual person and I don't wish anything bad on anyone, some people's spirit and energy I don't care for. And as long as they don't force themselves on me, I don't have to tell them about themselves and then end it with in Jesus' name. Because I have had to tell people about themselves very kindly and wish them well in Jesus' name at the end. Okay? But it's okay to not 100% be bosom buddies with everyone you encounter. It's okay. We're all different. That's why we're unique and there's variety. But Sutton is doing some stuff for I want to say for cameras, but it's also, like I said, someone in the background has pointed out that she doesn't know how long she's going to be around. So do you really want, because do you really want this division? Because we all know how that can play out. We're not going to act crazy now. When groups divide, you've got a high chance of being the one pushed right on out the door. Sometimes they just stay divided, like Married to Medicine. They divide it and they stand divided. And they come together and then be divided again. They come together and be divided. But it's still a divide. I don't care what nobody says. It's still a divide. But then other times there's a divide and then one person is trying to get people on their side, the other person want people on their side, and they get offended when another person talks to the other person and they thought they was on their side, and someone ends up getting pushed out the door with a boot on their butt. Just kicked on out. Them boots was made for walking and kicking. So she's come to that realization, so that's the reason why she is battling within her this fight for it or flight. Buy her things or leave. She chose leave, was told to fight for it, so now she wants to help her with her luggage and try to, girl, whatever. So right now they want us to believe, currently, this is a nice song. I'll just be playing little, regular little background study music. This don't sound like study music. All right, this sounds like a nice jazz club, a speakeasy or something. Anyway, so, this is, right now, in current times, they want us, they being Crystal and Sutton and Crystal, want us to believe that they are peachy creamy, everything's great. I believe what they mean is, if I could translate, is that they're cordial. They're cordial. Okay? I don't believe that they're hanging out. I don't even believe they didn't have some lunch by themselves. Now, I may have to eat my words because, production will make them do those type of things. Production will make them do those type of things, okay? You heard me correctly. I know enough of these reality shows to know that sometimes, not 100% all the time, because Garcelle demanded in order for her to come back that she had to have a one-on-one that would be aired and not cut out with both Kyle and Rinna. Get into it. But in most cases, when people have issues, production, just like production in the last season, told Denise, you need to go back in there and defend yourself. You can't leave right now. Da 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 da. All right. That's why they're producers. You know, they're doing whatever they can to make a good show. Um, so not saying that they will never have a one-on-one lunch or dinner, but I'm calling it right now. It's not going to be genuine because they are just two different people and they just don't feel it for each other. Point blank. Period. So Sutton will either. I wish this is what I wish for her to accept that and just move on and you can just accept to agree to disagree and accept that you see each other and just move forward. Okay? Everybody doesn't have to like everybody, but and again, the card that came up in the past, the hangman for her is saying like she doesn't want to be misrepresented by someone else, which is why the worst for her would be to think that they are cool when Crystal might be going around telling people that they aren't. So that would be like her worst nightmare because that's happened to her before. Like something has happened behind her back. She was misrepresented and she felt like she should have spoke up. So, you know, there's past trauma. There's past trauma. Moving right along. Excuse me, I didn't mean to come in coughing, you guys. Um, But this is what I like to call the energy snapshot. This energy card is the energy that has influenced all of the previous cards that came out in the previously discussed positions. Okay, this is the driving force, the energy influence, and it is reversed Nine of Swords. Now, this one, the meaning for this one is learning to cope and mental health issues are at play. All right. And this is alleged. All right. This is for entertainment purposes, and every single word is alleged and not to be used as facts. But this card represents mental health issues in the background, and that relates to her anxiety and pulling out that lint brush that she painted pink and rolled her face like it was dough. And then I think she rolled her arms and her hands. And I seen somebody one time take a rolling pin and they, you know, rolled their stomach and said they was rolling fat off. And they were serious. They were serious. So I don't know what all people do with rolling pins and lint brushes. And so I'm not saying that rolling a lint brush across your face can't calm you down. That's not for me. But whatever works, you know, whatever works. I drink water and fan myself and remove myself from the situation. That's what I do to calm down. But ultimately, I just don't put myself in that situation, in that kind of situation. However, this ain't about me. The energy snapshot is reverse Nine of Swords, and what this ultimately is saying that her way of learning to cope and dealing with the mental health issues. And when I say mental health issues, I'm referring to her anxiety, okay? Because it is an issue because it overwhelmed her. When you can cry at the drop of a dime and have to pull out a pink lint brush that you done bedazzled or whatever and roll it across your face like your face is a pancake or something, that's an issue. That's an issue that deals with the health of your mental stability, mental and emotional stability. All right? So, emotional health and mental health, being stable in that. So, excuse me. Um, but the way she's dealing with it is good because she's choosing to focus on healing and self-care. Now, I want that self-care to be beyond that pink lint brush roller. It needs to be more than that. All right. But at least this energy is saying she's focusing on healing and self care. But I just want her to have options and explore options other than that pink lint roller thing that she was slapping all across her forehead and face, or cheeks. I think she focused on the cheeks. Um, but anyway, that's the energy snapshot. I am so happy to see that, because someone needs to tell her that even though her love language is buying things, some some people don't, they're not here for that. And some people's love language is absolutely not that. And she seems not to be able to understand beyond whatever her own perceptions are. And that's the problem, Sagies. That's the problem. That's the problem. She can't see beyond her own feelings. And that's a problem for Sutton. And that would be a problem for any of us, to build a wall up, around our own feelings and just have our own feelings and say F everybody else and your feelings. This is all just about my feelings and how I feel. And if I feel like if I buy you a flask, you better be cool with me. And if you ain't, then you crazy. That's it. It doesn't make any sense. That's self-destruction. You're headed for self-destruction. You're headed for self-destruction. If you feel like when I buy you a gift, you better be cool, and that's all you can see, you can't see beyond that. Come on. They're like night and day. They're cold and hot. Um, they do not see for each other, and the thing about it is they're just playing nice. They know they don't see for each other, but they also know that they skating on the same thin ice. Okay? So it's kind of like, let's put on a smile and, call it a truce, be cordial, and then maybe we could duke it out next season. But let's just be cool right now. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't see it for each other, and they're never. And hey, if 5 episodes down the line they best friends, eat me up in these comments. Go ahead. Give me a kiki. I will laugh, because I can laugh at myself. I have no problem, but I doubt it. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Their energy is polar opposite. They're like the magnets that they won't connect. I'm trying to give I'm seeing it in my head, so I'm just giving you guys the visions that's in my mind right now. And um, you can't make them connect. Now, when I was younger, I think in fourth grade, elementary, fourth grade, we had a little magnet problem, or not problem, but the teacher gave us magnets, and it was some kind of something. I think it was science class, and she said if you rub them together, because it's about the eons. Oh, look, I'm getting ready to get all nerdy on y'all. The eons in it, or whatever, they're going separate ways. But she said if you rub them together long enough, you can straighten them out, and they will um, attract. And I believe that did happen. But I'm gonna tell you something. I think those was either trick magnets or cheap magnets. You heard me right. Trick or cheap or trick. Because in general, the magnets, they're just going the opposite way, and you shouldn't have to forcibly rub them together to get them to come together. But they did. She was right. So if I have any science nerds, please drop down and tell me why that happened, why that worked, because I think it was cheap or a trick. But my point is that I'm being shown by spirit the image of them being opposite magnets that won't stick. And I think Crystal's okay with it, but to a certain extent, so far as she's new, she wants to appear to get along, be along, get along, But I think we'll see a different. I'm almost positive we'll see a different side of Crystal next season. And you know what? I want to do a reading on why was her decision. What made Crystal Minkoff decide to come on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, I would like to dig deeper into her. And you know what, you guys? I don't know if that video will be popular or not. I'm honestly doing what is dropped down inside of my spirit, what makes me curious, because everything else is surface. But I like to dive in deep into their energy and their psyche to see what it is that they're not showing us and what they're not telling us. Okay, which is why I call it tarot spills the tea. So this goes beyond a recap and review. This is tarot spilling the real tea. All right, moving right along. Right here, right here, right here is where I first and foremost thank you all, everyone listening right now. Thank you so much for your support, for clicking on this video and watching this video. That in itself means a lot to me. I am a new channel and all of the views mean a lot to me in it of itself. I am going to ask you though, will you please click like, all right, and subscribe, because I'm going to continue to do this. And I'm going back and forth on trying to make these videos shorter. However, I like to give you guys all of the pertinent information because I feel like that sparks conversation. Alrighty. So again, thank you so much for your support. If you don't mind, please click like and hit the subscribe button and hit that bell button for the next video to pop up for you so that you know who I'm talking about next, what I'm talking about. This is all reality shows and some YouTube drama. So just stay tuned. All right. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your week. We are in the middle of the week. They come on tonight. So let's gear up for that and be safe. Remember to wash your hands. If that's all you do, wash your hands when you come in. Please, please, please. All right, you guys.